everybody, this is Michelle with Creative Operation and Country Craft Creations, and today have I got something for you. I got a wild idea and I decided to make it, and I've been thinking about this for about a week now, and I sat down over the holiday weekend and figured it out, and I actually love this thing. I think it's really cool. So what I'd made today, and this is probably like crazy, but letterboards are like kind of still like the rage right now. And I decided to make one out of paper, and it turned out, I think, fabulous. And I'm going to show you how to make it today. It's a little fiddly. There's a lot of little parts, but once you get it done, it's really cool. And the best part about it, so you can do this two ways. You can make it and have like the letterboard look, and then you could put stuff on it and make a permanent picture. Or you can do like I did, and you can make it so that the pieces come out. And I'll show you how to make the little tabs so that you can put them on the pieces, and actually you could make things for different holidays. You could redecorate. You could do all kinds of stuff with it. And then to put them back, all you got to do is simply just stick them in the slots, in the right spots, of course, so it doesn't cover everything up. And then you've got your piece put back together. This piece here, and here were from my last design team package, and it was the Carta Bella Farmhouse Summer. I had a 6x6 or 4x6 cut apart left over. I backed it on a couple pieces of cardstock, and then basically that's what I did. I went ahead and put a little tabby on the back, and then I could just stick it in here and in between the slots, and then I could put that there, and then I can take it out. I can redo this. I could do it with, I could theme it for holidays. I could change it up, whatever I wanted to do. I had roses in my stash. I put little tabs on the back of those and did that. These were, two of these are Tim Holtz, like Sizzix dies that I did. And then I punched a butterfly in the middle and just made it kind of a three-layered butterfly. Again, put a thing on the back and then did that. So I did two of those. And then I used some of the chipboard cut apart banners and did that. So, I mean, I think it turned out really cute. I really like how it turned out, and I want to show you how to make it. For the corners here, I use the Heartfelt Creations album tags and accents die that I got from Country Craft Creations. I used Artisan Cardstock, brown and black, and then I also used some ribbon from my stash just to have a hanger. So I think it turned out really cool. Let's learn how to make it. So to start off with, you're going to need some pieces of brown cardstock. Let me grab all my pieces here. Let me make a mess here. Okay, so you will need 3 pieces total of brown cardstock. And so we're going to have the base piece here, which will be 12 by 11 3/4. Okay, that's the base piece. And then the next pieces that we're going to play with are going to be the sides that we're going to create the frame. And then you'll need one piece that is 11 7/8 by 11 5/8 tall, and that's going to cover the back of the piece once we get all this done. Okay, so the base piece here is 12 by 11 3/4. So you just need to trim that, put it off to the side. So then you're going to take a couple pieces that are 3 by 11 3/4. Okay, we'll need 2 of those, 3 by 11 3/4. We're going to stick them in our scoreboard, and you're going to score at 1/2, at 1 1/4, at 1 3/4, and 2 1/2. Okay, so you'll do that for both of those 2 pieces. So these again are 3 by 11 3/4. And then you're going to take one of the sides and you're going to miter. Okay, like so, one of the 1/2-inch sides. So you'll notice when you do this, you have a 1/2, 3/4, 1/2, 3/4, 1/2. That's what you want. The base of the tray is going to be 3/4 of an inch tall, but it's going to be a 1/2 inch wide. Okay, so we got those 2 pieces. And then you're going to need to take another piece that is 12 by 3. Okay, so you will stick it with the 12-inch, or excuse me, the 3-inch at the top. We're going to score the same way at 1/2, 1 1/4, 1 3/4, and 2 1/2. Okay, so again, we're going to have half, 3/4, half, 3/4, half on the spacing. And then you're going to turn it. And on one side, on the 12-inch, you're going to score at the 1/2 inch, but you're only going to score through the first 2 pieces. So through a 1/2 inch and then through a 3/4 inch. Okay, just down that far. You don't go through all the way. And you're going to do it again at 11.5, just through those first 2 scores. Okay, so then when you get done with that, we're going to cut it. So those 2 scores that we just did at the tops, those are just basically guidelines for cutting. So what you're going to do, I'm going to turn this upside down because I'm going to be cutting it upside down. Okay, so you can see. So you're going to cut up those scores just through those first 2 pieces. Okay, and then you're going to angle through that middle 1/2 inch score. You're just going to go corner to corner. Okay, and then you're going to miter the last 1/2 inch score. Okay, can you see that? So we'll do it again on the other side. So you're going to cut up straight through those first 2 scores. Then you're going to angle corner to corner through that 1/2 inch, and then we're going to miter this last one. So you'll have 2 pieces that look like this. Okay, so this is basically how we're going to make the frame. We put this off to the side. We're going to fold and burnish our scores. Be careful when you do this. You want to make sure this stays as straight as possible. So usually it's easier if you go, when you do this, to do from the middle and then out. At least it is for me. Okay. So we'll do all of the pieces like that. Okay, so now that we have all of our pieces done, then we just need to attach them to the base. Now we're going to attach them to like the back side. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our pieces. So here is the 12-inch piece. So this is going to go on the 12-inch side, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just put our glue here. And then with our base piece, the 12-inch side, we're going to just glue that down right to the score line. Okay, just like that. And I never have my little gauzies ready. You would think that I would do that, but I never remember. Okay, so one on each side. So this is the one that has that bevel piece. That's on the 12-inch side, okay? I'm using Artisan Cardstock in brown, and then I'm using black for the inside because most of the letter boards are kind of that color. And I think it just kind of makes whatever you put on the inside kind of pop. And then, again, like I said, you can do this, and you can either make it a permanent thing so it looks like a permanent, you know, letterboard, and you can just glue the stuff on the top and be done with it. And then you have a nice decorative piece, or you can, you know, make them so that you can take them out, which is kind of fun. Okay, so we have that. Now the next pieces here, the piece that's mitered, are going to go on the other sides, okay? So we're going to make a frame, like a box frame, on a large scale. I did not use any chipboard in this. Once you get all of the pieces on here, I really didn't think you were going to need any because it is actually quite sturdy. I didn't get that quite straight, did I? It was remarkable how sturdy it was once I got it done. All right, and one more. There we go. So we have all of our 4 sides on here. While I was working on this tutorial yesterday, I was watching Alfred Hitchcock reruns, so that was pretty fun. I was having a good time. Okay, so the back piece is going to go on the back, and it's going to cover all of those tabs, and it's going to add some strength to it, and it's cut so it's just a little bit shorter than, you know, the piece that we're covering, and it's going to cover all the tabs, and it's going to add some more strength. So I'm just going to put my glue down and glue it down, almost like you were patterning, you know, putting pattern paper on it. And this is just, again, going to add strength. And I didn't cover the back with anything else, just this cardstock. And again, this is on the back of the piece here. So I'm just going to take this big old piece. You could use score tape if you wanted to. Whatever works for you. Okay, I'm just going to lay that down. And I'm going to grab my big scraper. Make sure that's all stuck down really nice, and that covers all the tabs on the outside. Okay. All right. So now all we have to do is make the frame. Now, in order to make the frame, what we're going to do is first you're going to start with the sides that are not beveled, okay? And what you're going to do is fold it flat so that you have, if you can, I hope you can see this. Let me double check. Yep, you can. Okay, so fold this flat so that you have the 3/4 inch here and then the 1/2 inch here. And we're going to put glue on the 1/2 inch tab. Okay, and then you're just going to fold this over and lay it down flat. And then we can pick it up, and then that's going to make a very nice straight side. Okay, we're going to do that on both sides. So again, let me get this out of the way. It's driving me crazy. Okay, this project is kind of big. So fold it flat. Okay, so basically you're folding it in half. You should have a 1/2 inch tab right here. And we're going to just glue that down. Okay. And then we're going to just, if I can get it, there we go, and fold that down. Okay, then we'll lift that up, and you should have two beautiful sides like that. Okay, now this piece here will fold over, and this is why we cut those 1/2 inch pieces off. These are going to go down, and they're going to fold over, and then they're going to create the sides here. This is a little bit more fiddly to do. You kind of, it's harder to fold it flat because, you know, you can't with these in the way, so you do have to kind of do it with it standing up. But as you can see, it does go in pretty good if you can tuck it and then stick it down. Okay, so I'm going to just put some glue here on my tabs, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue in the corners here because that'll help hold that together. Okay, and then we're just going to kind of tease that around and fold it down, and we're going to hold it for a couple seconds and make sure that the corners catch. Okay, and then that is basically the corner of your box. Okay, and then you can decorate that if you want to, like I did. You can put, you know, do those corners with the Heartfelt Creations dies and cover that. You don't have to. You can do all kinds of different things. So however you want to do it, but that'll help hold those corners together. Okay, and then we're going to repeat for this side. Okay, so again, that will fold under and over and then make the tray. Okay, so we're going to put the glue. Come on, glue. There we go. A little dab here, a little dab in that corner. there we go. Just like that. I've made some boxes like this. Whoop! You gotta keep it on the edge though. Yeah. I've made some boxes like this before. Tamara did some awesome, you know, like gift card boxes that were amazing. And then I've used this in a couple different ways. It makes a great tray, and it makes a nice kind of mitered edge, and it works really good. So yeah, I love this. Okay, here we go. All right, so our tray's done, so we can just go ahead and put this off to the side for now. So now, here's the fun part. We get to make a whole bunch of tubes. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, oh my goodness. But we need to make 21 of these tubes. So this is a little time consuming. This is why I was watching Alfred Hitchcock while I was doing it, because, you know, it does take a lot of time. But trust me that it's worth it. So let me show you. I already made 20 of them. We're going to make this one together. Okay, so you will need the tubes that are, did I write it down? I don't think I wrote it down. Well, let's measure it. Okay, so these tubes are 11 by 2.5. You're going to score every 1/2 inch. So at half, at 1, 1.5, 2. Okay. Then we'll fold and burnish again all of these. So they will be a 1/2 inch deep and a 1/2 inch wide. And when I did my project, when I measured it out, 21 tubes filled the area that we just made inside of our tray. So, and it fit perfectly. So there you go, because it gives a little bit of room for, you know, having the papers together. Okay, so once you get your tube folded and burnished, I used score tape. This was the easiest thing to do. On one of these ends, I'm going to fold it up. I'm going to put my score tape on. Okay, you guys know me. I rip my score tape. Okay, take this off. And then you're going to fold this over flat and adhere it down. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold it the other direction and make sure that everything is good. Okay. So now you should have a tube like so. Okay. Then what you're going to do on that piece, that edge piece that we folded over and glued down, I'm going to put another piece of score tape down on that, and that's what's going to glue it down to our base piece. Okay, so we should have 21 tubes that look like this. Okay, then I'm going to grab a piece of black cardstock, and this is what I'm using to glue these onto, and then those will go into the tray. Okay, so you can see why I didn't really need to use any extra chipboard, because this is going to be layers on layers. So this piece is 11 wide by 10 3/4 tall. And what we're going to do is we're just going to add these tubes starting from the top all the way down. And the easiest way that I found to do this, and this is what I did. I took my scoreboard and I put it on the side so I could have the sides here to play with. Okay, I squished my tube, took my score tape off, and then I just started at the top edge and lined it up, making sure everything was flat, and then I pushed it down. Okay, so then you grab your next tube, and I did the same thing. So sticky side towards the top, and then at this point, if you wanted to, you don't even have to use the scoreboard anymore if you don't want to, but you're just going to line that up right next to that and then stick it down, and then there's your next two. Okay, so again, the tedious part, but if you have Alfred Hitchcock on, you know, it's okay, because you don't need to, you know, you don't have to worry about it. You can watch a little. I love old Alfred Hitchcock. I love Twilight Zone. I mean, just that stuff is just like right up my alley. Okay, so I'm just going to simply just keep sticking these down. I'm lining these up right next to each other, okay? And you can see as I'm going, so they can fold both directions, but look how they're going to be, okay? I'm going to finish this up, and then we'll be back. I have my piece done. It's all on the back here, and you can see from the top, they're all there, and they're all open so that you have slots to put things in, okay? And then you're just going to grab your base and making sure that the widest part is at the top and everything. Then you're just simply going to pop it in. Now you can, I'm going to actually, so when you pop it in, you just pop it in. You can put glue in here, and I did that because I wanted to make sure it stayed in. So I'm just going to run some glue. And then I'm just going to pop this guy in, and that is, and it will be a little bit snug, and that's what you want. Okay, and then I just unpop that, so we'll glue that again, but there you go. There's your tray. So let's put some more glue on here. Okay, we'll hold that for just a second, and then let's talk about the little pieces. So now basically all you need to do is figure out how you want to decorate this. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a little piece of washi tape, and I'm going to, because you can't use a clamp, right? I'm going to take a little piece of washi tape, and I'm going to go across the top and the sides, and then just kind of hold that together so it stays down and it'll glue down. Okay, so we need to make the little pieces that go on the back of whatever you're going to want to put in here, okay? So I made two different sizes. I'm going to show you how to do that. And it's really simple and really easy. You can take any size strip of paper you want and do this, and then you can cut them into pieces however long you need them. So based on your project, like for example, for the butterfly, I used a longer, kind of skinnier piece because I didn't want it to show behind the butterfly, but I did use a longer, skinnier piece. For the back of the flower, a shorter, fatter piece. So it just depends on what object you use. So for the wider piece, it's 3 inches, and you're going to score at 1/2, 1, 2, and 2.5. And again, it doesn't matter how long the strip is because you're going to cut the pieces based on what you're going to be, you know, gluing to the back. For the skinnier piece, it's 2 inches wide. You're going to score at 1/2, at 3/4, 1 1/4, and then 1.5. Okay. So again, the wider piece is 3 inches wide. You score at 1/2, 1, 2, 2.5. The skinnier piece is 2 inches. You score at 1/2, 3/4, 1 1/4, 1 3/4, or 1.5, excuse me. Let me do that again. 1/2, 3/4, 1 1/4, 1.5. Okay. So then once you get done scoring that, then you're going to take your pieces, and we're just going to fold and burnish these. And the way you're going to do it is you're going to kind of accordion them in a way so that they meet in the middle. Okay, so you'll have like the 1/2 inch piece here. It'll look like that. All right, and then we're just going to, I'm going to use score tape just because it's going to be easier. And I'm going to put a piece of score tape here and here. And then we can put a piece of score tape on the outer edge here. Okay, so I put 2 strips down the 1 inch side and then 1 strip down here. So we'll go ahead and take the bottom strips off, and we're gonna just glue those or put those down. Okay. And then this score tape here will go here. So what you're going to end up with is a T-shaped, okay, with an inch here. And then you basically just cut the pieces depending on how long you want them, okay? And then they glue right back to whatever object that you're going to put them on, okay? That's it. That is it. These little pieces go right through the slots, and boom, you're done, okay? So this one here, this is the same thing, except it's a little bit skinnier, okay? It only has a 1/2 inch wide attachment, and then that way you can use skinnier pieces for objects that have a skinnier backing, okay? So again, score tape down the middle, and this one, the middle is a 1/2 inch. I'm going to use 2 pieces here, and then a piece on the edge here. I'm not going to take the backing off of that one, so we'll fold that down in the middle. Okay, and again, so that gives you the 1/2 inch right there, and then we're just going to fold the sides up, and then that'll give us our T-shape. So the 1/2 inch T-shape goes down into the slots, and then you can cut it any length you want, and it's skinny because it's only a 1/2 inch, and then you can cut it any length you want, glue it onto the object that you want. Okay, so like for the butterflies, I used the skinnier one. For the flowers, since they were bigger and thicker, I used the bigger one. And on the back of this card, I used the bigger one, but I just used a longer length. So you can do this like a 12-inch long length, and then you can cut off as many pieces as you desire to make your project. And then once you're done with all of that, then you can grab your piece, okay, and just decorate. What did I do with that other piece? Here it is. Okay, so you just take your tab and slip it in between the slats, like so, okay? And just do the same for your pictures, however you want to put them. There you go. And center them, and then decorate as you wish. So that is my project. I won't go through all of that, but there you go. That's my project. This is the letterboard. So then I did the corners. So I did this out of the gold mirror paper that Country Craft Creations has. And I just cut the corners then and just put them on the edges. Now that's really nice to do as a decorative piece, but it also does reinforce the corners as well. So you can do that. And then I just took a piece of score tape and ran it around the sides and the bottom and got a great big piece of ribbon. This one I think I'm going to use seam binding, and then just tie a bow for hanging, and you have your letterboard project. Now the other thing I wanted to tell you is that when I made this one here, the sides of our tray and the pieces in here were all scraps. I only had to use full sheets of cardstock for the back of the trays, okay, so the 2 pieces, and then the black piece that was the back of all of these tubes. The rest were scraps. I went through my scrap pile. This is a scrap buster project. This is an amazing scrap buster project. I got rid of a lot of scraps making this, and then scraps making your attachment pieces. So again, awesome project to scrap bust, but also really pretty. And then you don't have to make these if you don't want to. If you want to just have the letterboard look behind it, you could just glue these pieces down and then just make a real pretty permanent piece to your letterboard project, and it'll look exactly like one, but it will be it'll be permanent. So however you want to do it. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Country Craft Creations at countrycraftcreations.com. This was Carta Bella, Farmhouse Summer. You can use any of the papers Country Craft Creations has, because this would be a great interactive, you know, replaceable, or not replaceable, but redecoratable. How's that? Is that a word? I don't know. Anyway, have fun with it. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Stay crafty and have a good day. Bye-bye. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is tutorial number 3 for Country Craft Creations using Heartfelt Creations Rustic Sunflower. This is a really beautiful, fun paper collection to use, and it has all kinds of different opportunities. You have some, big 12 by 12 pages, but you also have lots and lots and lots of cut aparts that are really kind of fun to try and figure out what to do with, because they're all different sizes and it's kind of fun to play with. There's also a lot of cut aparts to play with, and if you've been following this is my third tutorial using this paper collection. I have done a couple different albums. I did one with a pocket flip with a box. I've done one with a fun new kind of binding thing that I wanted to play with. And today we're finishing up my letterboard idea. So we've already made this, and I finished this one. This is the one I made in the tutorial. I had these metal corners that was given to me at a retreat in a gift bag exchange that we had by Peggy. So Peggy, thank you. I think that made a perfect little, accent for my letterboard. I did add some yellow seam binding that matches this collection. And then what I did was I decided that this one's going to be more of a photo frame kind of thing. Now, we talked about if you wanted to make this kind of a permanent thing, you could just glue everything right to the page and be done with it. And I made a couple different things. I wasn't sure like which ones I would use. I don't know, maybe, I don't know which ones to use. Maybe this, but you can do all kinds of different stuff, and you can even make different ones and then like switch it up. So you don't even have to use the bigger one. You can use 2 smaller ones and then do a bunch of things with it. So this is what we're playing with. So I think what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to glue down a couple pieces. I'm going to make this one a little bit more permanent, but I'm also going to show you how to make some embellishments that you can kind of move around and play with. So if you remember on the first one that I made these so that they can actually come out, and then you can just slide them into the the little pieces in between of your letterboard, and you can kind of, make this rearrangeable. So this one right here, I can totally decorate for the holidays. I can do all that. Let's talk about how to make this one more permanent. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these 2 down. So you have like the look of a letterboard, but it's going to be a more permanent kind of photo piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue down. I matted a couple of the cut aparts from the collection. So the one that I'm gluing right now is a 6 by 6 piece, and I have double matted with cardstock. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I think I like it like right about here, and I'm just going to line this up. I'm going to glue it down. You're still going to have, but you want to glue it down so that it is right side up. That's for sure. Okay, don't press too hard, because remember, these are tubes down under here and you don't want to press down too hard. But this will be a more permanent decorative piece, but it's going to also be, we're going to have a little interactive element, because I'm going to show you how to make some of the embellishments that you can use. Okay, so I'm going to just glue this one down too. And I think I like that. Like right about here. And it's going to be really pretty, I think. It's going to have that letterboard look, but it's going to have a more permanent thing. I like it. Then you can pop pictures on here, do whatever you want. So like one of the things that I did was I took one of the tags in the collection, I backed it with cardstock and cut it out, tied a little bow through it, and put a little ladybug on there. So we can stick that down. The other thing too is, like, I made one of these, but I think that's too much, so we're not going to use that one for this. The other thing I did was during one of my tutorials, I created this. So you've got this that we could play with. I did put sticky tape on the back, but that's okay, because you can actually put the little things using the sticky tape. We can glue it down using that. I've got this little guy here, which I thought was really super cute. So we can put him somewhere around here, do that with decoration. And what I might do is trim this guy off and then layer it a little bit, because that might be something. And then we have these cut aparts here, all of these sizes of flowers that come with the kit. So when I layered the, good gravy, this glue, it's me, it's just me. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little glue down and I'm just gonna layer these on here. I did notice that when you do this, do it in twos, meaning have two of the same size on top. If you want to just do one underneath and then do, I don't know how to explain it. The brown will show, and I'll show you in a second. If you do two, then of course the brown pieces cover each other and it kind of cancels each other out. But if you only do one size, you see how the brown shows through the flower petals like that? You don't want that. So you're going to need a second one to layer over the top. And then that'll kind of cover that up. Okay, and make it look more, you know, like a complete fluffy flower. And then you can kind of fluff it up. Like so. Okay, and you can squish it, you know. You can run it through a mold if you have one of the molds. They do sell those at Country Craft Creations, where you can put kind of any flower in, and I have one of those where any flower will work and then it will mold it. You can, you know, do like a finger thing and kind of get some going one way and some going the other, however you want to do this. Okay. All right, so once you get your flower kind of where you want it, and then I'm going to put a ladybug on here because I'm keeping with the theme. So we're going to put our little ladybug in here. Okay, kind of hidden in the leaves of the flower. There we go. Okay, so then we need to make an attachment. So we've made these in the previous tutorial. So you have the 1/2 inch piece of this T that actually goes between the slats. And then you have one that is a 1/2 inch on top for the attachment to the piece you want to stick on here. And then you have one that's 1 inch. So it depends on the width of the piece that you want. I'm going to use, I think, oh, I don't know, maybe the smaller one for this one I think is probably fine. And I'm just going to cut a chunk off of that. Okay, so I have my 1/2 inch piece that actually has to go in between the slats. So I want to make sure that when I glue my flower down onto it, that it's in the proper kind of orientation. I don't want my ladybug pointed the wrong direction. And then I will go ahead and stick that on the back. Like so. Let's let that dry for a minute. Okay, so then I made this in a previous tutorial and I really like it. I think it's pretty. I'm curious as to, should I add this to it and fluff it up even more and kind of intertwine these guys? That might be kind of cute actually, and fluff that up a little bit. And then I could put this kind of up in here. I think that would be really pretty. Okay, let's do that. So, you know, these things are totally like, you can fuss and play and intertwine and just go to town. So maybe I'll do that. And I think maybe what I'll do is cut this guy off. I'm going to cut this one off. Round out that leaf, and let's see, do I want to go that way or this way? Ooh, maybe that way. I need to stick that down, obviously. Okay, so then once I get it where I want it, I'm just going to go back in here and I'm going to glue it down where it's going to touch, but not too much because I want to make sure that things are kind of fluffy. let's put my little lady, oh, let's put the other flower on too. So let's cut the rest of that stem out. And I did a lot of fussy cutting. I watched a lot of Alfred Hitchcock shows while I was doing it. It was kind of fun. So then maybe I'll just put this guy over here. Yeah, I'll kind of glue him in there. So I'm just going to put a little bit on here. I'm going to stick this in here. Yeah, like that. Okay. And then I can glue my ladybug down. This one will have 2 ladybugs. Isn't that cute? So we totally fluffed that up and it looks great. It looks great. Oh, I love it. Okay, so then we need to figure out where this is going to go, and I think this should go somewhere in the middle. Now, I made this in a previous tutorial, and I was showing how you could bump it up and use it for something else. I'm going to just leave these covered. I'm going to take this off, and I think what I'm going to do is take this off here, and then I'll just glue it right, or stick it right to the foam tape here. Cut a piece. Now I have to go straight. We've got to make sure we keep the orientation, and I'll just stick that down right there. Okay, and then that can stick down. All right, and so then we have this guy here, so we'll need to do something with him, and we'll just go ahead and use this piece again. Why not, right? It's here. So we'll put some glue on this, and we'll glue that to the back. So I have a ton of leftover pieces, so I can mix and match and do all kinds of stuff if I wanted to. Okay, so let's say we're going to do something like this. I'm just going to stick it in between the slats like so. Kind of overlap that a little bit, and we have our flower here. We can totally put that down like right there, and then we have this guy here, and we're going to stick that in between one of the slats up here. Let's see, how about maybe that one? Nope, that's too low. There we go, like so. Okay, so this is an example of what you can do with a more permanent fixture, but then you can add little things to it if you want. Okay, so that was what I was trying to show you. So this can be a reusable piece, or you can give it as a complete permanent decoration. Now, obviously, if you really wanted to make this really permanent, you could glue these down and be done with it. This one is completely, all of this is removable, so I can change this out with the holidays. And this one could be a beautiful gift to give to somebody, give to grandmas with pictures of the kids during the summertime or whatever. And this could be a permanent piece that they could always, you know, have, and it be ready to go. So that is my letterboard project, and I hope you liked it. I'm going to put both of these out. So I used 2 different design team packages. This is Farmhouse Summer by Carta Bella, and that was the first one that I showed you. And then this one here is this month's design team package, Heartfelt Creations Rustic Sunflower collection. And this is the 3rd tutorial using this collection, and I really enjoyed using it. It's really pretty. And the letterboard idea is really fun, but I also have a couple different albums using that collection, so please go see the other tutorials. And stay tuned, because I will be back soon with other tutorials. Thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome day. Bye-bye.